What's up guys, my name is Chris, or Tainted Catalyst, and today I'm bringing you a Lulu guide. I'm going to start doing guides on this channel, and I figured I would start with Lulu since currently she is one of my most played champions at the moment, and she's one of my favourites overall. She's just so strong, and this is going to be a support guide, not top or mid or anything. Lulu is a great poke support champion. She's got a lot of CC, and she can very quickly take charge of a lane if she's got the right ally, and to be honest with you, most lane matchups that you have, you'll have the right ally because she goes well with everybody. She doesn't have any sustain, although her E does grant a shield and her ultimate gives a lot of bonus health. Her passive is Pic's Fairy Companion. Pic fires magical bolts of energy whenever his owner attacks an enemy unit. These bolts are homing, but they can be intercepted by other units. This is very, very strong early. She can add a lot of additional damage to her auto attacks if she's got the right situation to be able to poke. She can do a nice little bit of poke just from auto attacks. Her Q is Glitter Lance. Pix and Lulu both fire a bolt of magical energy that slows any enemy's hit. An enemy can only be damaged by one bolt. Personally, I advise smart casting this, at least until you're used to using it, because the direction that they can go in can seem a bit strange. So try smart casting so you can see the angles that it's going to be traveling at. Lulu's W is Whimsy. If you cast it on an ally, it will grant them movement speed and ability power for a short time. If you cast it on an enemy, it turns them into an adorable little critter that can't attack or cast spells. Her E is Help Pix. If you cast it on an ally, it commands Pix to jump to the ally and shields them and aids their attacks. As a side note, any enemy that is killed by Pix in the time while it's attached to your ally counts as your ally's kill, not yours. If you cast it on an enemy, it sends Pix to that target enemy and deals magic damage, and also grants vision on them for the duration of time that Pix is attached to them. Lulu's ultimate is Wild Growth. Lulu enlarges an ally, knocking nearby enemies up and away from them, and it also grants bonus health. For 7 seconds, the ally gains an aura that slows nearby enemies. For summoner spells, I take Flash and Exhaust pretty much every time. I take Heal if the AD carry really wants the heal, or if they want to take Exhaust and not Ignite or Cleanse. The skill order would be R, Q, E, W. Now some people go with E first. Personally, I found that Q works best because even though E does a little bit more damage if you can keep putting it on them, I like to use the E on the ally if I need it. So Q for me means that I can just have more consistent damage, because if they engage on us and my E's down because I just used it on one of them, I have nothing to like shield my ally. So I max the Q first personally, but you can try it out and see what you want. I could never think of a situation where you would max W first personally. I just think that's always a last. For runes, I like to go with Magic Penetration Reds, Armor Yellows, Magic Resist per level Blues, and Gold for 5 points. I found that works best for me. Sometimes, and very rarely, you could take Armor Reds and then keep all the other ones the same. That really comes down to lane matchups and knowing if your ally is going to be aggressive or not. If they don't really be that aggressive, then you may want to take the armor. For Lulu's masteries, I like to go 0, 13, 17. I like to get the health from the defense, get the resistances, and also get the reduced damage from enemy champions. Personally, I found that they work best. You can mess around, see what they're like for you, but that's what I like to get. And then for the utility tree, the 17, I like to get the additional mana, plus the summoner flash bonus, get the increased vision on wards, get the cooldown reduction, get the additional gold, plus the gold for 5, get the pickpocket ability, because Lulu's auto attacks are already good enough, getting gold for them definitely makes it more worth it to do it, and then get the Biscuiteer and the ward just for the extra early game advantage. You can go 1, 13, 16 and get rid of the pickpocket. You can do that if you're against the lane that can outreach you. Like if you're against the Caitlyn, she's going to trade with you a lot better than you can. For 3 gold, it might not be worth it. You might want to get the 1 in the advanced exhaust mastery. So that's something to think about, depending on who you're against. Right, for items, I like to start Fairy Charm, 2 potions, 1 pink ward and 2 green wards. Now you could have gotten away with doing the crystalline flask and 4 wards, but that doesn't work out anymore because of the price change, so I like this start personally. It means that you can keep spamming your abilities with the Fairy Charm. Her core is Philosopher's Stone, Cages, and Ruby Sidestone. They're the things that I like to go for first. Personally, I would advise getting the Sightstone first, the initial Sightstone, and then working on your gold for 5s, because it actually works out better for you price-wise in the long run. For boots, I go with Boots of Lucidity most of the time. There will be times, like everything in this game, Some things are situational, but typically you'll go with lucidity boots. Also, you can get an early Chalice of Harmony early if you know that you're going to be getting the MacLeods later on, for team fights, and if they've got the CC that you'll need to use the MacLeods for. After doing your core, I like to go straight for the Locket of the Iron Solari. It's so strong, and personally I think it should be bought on all supports. Some junglers even can get it, but I like to get it first major item is that. Then you can go for an Aegis. If your top or your jungler is getting it, you don't necessarily need to go for Aegis, you can just work on something else. After those things though, I would say just get what your team needs. If you need the MacLeods, get that. Like if they've got something on their team that is going to just shut down your AD carry and they don't have cleanse, or if they've got multiple things and your ally has cleanse, get the MacLeods, it's very good. Zeke's Herald's very good. Shard of True Ice. Now, I'm not really a big fan of this item, but with Lulu it's actually quite good. If you're ahead, if you can buy it, if you're not going to be holding yourself back for your team build. Because the slow that it gives as an aura actually works and stacks with your ultimate slow. So if you ultimate one of your teammates and then put the Shard of True Ice on them, it stacks the slow. Plus it also gives you extra AP, which means that you can do a bit more damage with your Qs. So that's always nice. Again, it's just something you'll get if you're far ahead. Typically I wouldn't get it, but it's something you can try out if you want to. As a kind of final build against a balanced team, I would go with the Boots of Lucidity, Locket, Bulwark, the Aegis upgrade, Shurelya's, Twin Shadows, and then the Ruby Sightstone. That can be sold out for another major item if you want, if you know that you've got teammates that can keep buying wards. Throughout the whole game, this is the biggest part of it all, throughout the whole game, make sure that you're always buying wards, pink wards as well, don't forget that they exist because they can help you a lot early game. And don't forget to buy in oracles, especially when you're going to push for an objective. So if you're like, right, we're going to be setting up for Baron in the next couple of minutes, I should buy in oracles, I should clear out their wards, I should put my own wards in there. Keep that in mind, don't forget to buy these things. And then super late game, if it's still going and you've got loads of money, buy the potions, the red and the blue potions, just because it's just extra health, extra damage. It's simple as that. Right, in terms of matchups, Lulu works really well with poke champions. So Ezreal, Caitlyn, these two have been my favourite matchups to play with. Although typically she goes well with everyone, like she does do really well with all AD carries. However, lanes that are bad for her on the opponent's side, high sustain lanes, okay? It really just nullifies all of her poke and it makes it almost pointless. And so if you pick Lulu and they have Soraka, like Soraka does such a good job, if they can play safe, you're not going to do anything, and then you just got the late game stuff, which is still fine, but in terms of lane, you're not going to win the lane. So remember, PKS, okay? Poke over kill over sustain. It's like the starting Pokemon, okay? Everyone counts one person, and it's like a cycle. So poke lanes beat kill lanes beat sustain lanes, but then sustain lanes beat the poke lanes. So keep that in mind when you're picking your champions and who you're against. Strategy when it comes to Lulu, right, she's really good at being aggressive in lane. She can very early take control of the lane and you can start zoning them quite well. She's got great poke. Take advantage of that, okay? A good thing that you can do to get really long range poke is to actually use E on a minion, yours or theirs, doesn't matter, and then use the Q. Because Pix fires Q, fires one of the bolts from Q, the Glitter Lance. If you put him on an allied minion or an enemy minion, you can then fire a bolt from him, so you can get really long range poke. Early game, she's got nice auto attacks. Already went over that. She's got really good auto attacks. Deals nice damage because of the bonus magic damage. Her W is also really good at winning trades in the laning phase. If you can use that on their AD carry, that means your AD carry is just getting free damage and they can't do anything about it. So make sure you save that, either to make sure your AD carry can escape if they're about to die, or use it on the enemy if you can reach them. In team fights, Lulu just wants to keep her AD carry alive. I personally save everything for the people that are going to try and dive on my AD carry. So if they have somebody who can just run straight in and try and get on your AD carry, use W on them. Make sure you whimsy them, turn them into a critter, stops their damage for a couple of seconds, and it means that you can get a really nice trade out of it. And then don't be afraid to ultimate other people other than your AD carry as well. If your AD carry doesn't need it, and you have someone on your team that can initiate really well, like let's say Malphite. Malphite works phenomenally with Lulu. Malphite ultimates in. If you then ultimate him again, they get a double knockup. Okay, that is putting them so far behind in the team fight straight off the bat that it's unreal. So make sure that you know who to ultimate. A shield is very good when it comes to trying to secure kills, because if you use it on an enemy, it grants vision of them. Don't forget that it grants vision. This means that you can see them if they try and run into a bush. So if they're trying to juke you around, just put your shield on them. They can't do that. You can see them the whole time. So this is good for chasing people because you can see where they go, and in laning phase it's good when trying to secure kills when they run into the bush. And it can also be used to fire the glitter lance from picks, which means that you can get a slow on them, because don't forget, glitter lance slows. You put shield on them, they go in the bush, you can still see them, and then your glitter lance comes off cooldown or whatever. You can use it, make sure you aim it with picks, fire, hit them, they're now slowed, and you've got vision on them. So that's also very good for securing kills. So that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. If you think I've missed anything, be sure to leave it in the comments down below and let me know, what you think about Lulu. And if I've missed something to do with any of the stuff that I mentioned, if you think that I'm wrong about stuff, let me know. Let me know what you think I've said wrong, or stuff that you would add to it, so I can put them as annotations, and then I can credit you for that if you think that's right. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more guides, because I will be doing these somewhat regularly, I think, then be sure to subscribe. You can hit the button, it's up in the top right corner, I think, or the top left, I'm not really sure. And yeah, leave it a nice rating if you want to, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.